Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics' Sonic the Hedgehog, reminding you to stretch. Staying well stretched and nimble on a daily basis can keep you prepared for when you suddenly need to be physically active, because you never know when you have to run. It's also a great stepping stone to regular exercise.
It is. It actually, because the thing with exercise isn't so much, because like people fall into the trap of, hey, I did this awesome holistic workout, the perfect workout routine. I got it down just now. Now you need to do it every other day, or however, I don't know, 3 times a week or whatever for the rest of your life, or as long as you can hit your goals. And that's the incredibly hard part. It really is a marathon, not a sprint.
See, I already have commitment issues with people. So
yeah, but it's with yourself now.
Well, that's, arguably worse. So I'm Nick. I wrote the script.
And I'm Dominic. And except for this intro, I haven't read any of today's script.
What do we, we're going fast. We're just going right into it, man.
We're enerjacking ourselves right into this 3rd issue.
I'm always enerjacking. I was doing enerjacking jumps.
Oh my god, jumping jacks. You can't even, what? Jacking jumps?
Yeah, earlier today. And then I was gonna do some Jack and Nerd energy.
You're gonna play Jacks, which is that game where you bounce the ball and then
but with more. Yeah, that was good. But with more energy. That was a good joke.
Better writing than this comic right now.
Man, I had to finish up writing it while Dominic was here, and he heard me just like swear out loud at something. So let's find out what that was.
We are reading Knuckles the Echidna, number 3, or I think it's officially called Sonic's Friendly Nemesis.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Knuckles the Echidna, number 3. This is his mini-series here. Rites of Passage, part 3. Released in July of 1996, written by Ken Penders and Mike Kanternovich. Pencils by Art Mahwini. Deep within the heart of Ebon Citadel, the fate of everything as we know it will be decided. A battle to be fought, with neither side offering or giving any quarter. Here, the past collides with the present, as descendant squares off against ancestor. The fiercest of opponents in any conflict are always those linked with the thickets of blood. For them, matters become more personal as the struggle evolves from the mere physical contest to one of conquering the opponent's heart and soul. Up until now, Knuckles has been master of all he surveyed on the tropical paradise known as the Floating Island. Content in the belief that his was a noble calling, he must fight for what he believes in, or surrender to a legacy of fear. Although guided by his mentor, the fire ant known as Archimedes, Knuckles may find he needs more than a little help. He may need a miracle as well. The serene, calm, the night sky over Necronopolis conceals well the conflict about to erupt. Knuckles and Archimedes are surrounded by Mighty, Espio, Vector, and Mighty.
That feels right.
Knuckles and Archimedes are surrounded by Mighty, Espio, Vector, and Charmy. The 4 are brainwashed and about to attack Knuckles and Archimedes. Archimedes does his fire breath attack to hold the 4 at bay. Vector runs to the conveniently placed fire hose nearby and sprays Knuckles and Archimedes, creating a dense fog in the room. A fist flies out of the fog, punching Vector in the face when Enerjack shows up and somehow puts Knuckles and Archimedes to sleep. Enerjack brings the 2 to the top of a tower and they wake up. It's time for Enerjack's monologue. But before that, I do want to mention how dirty that fucking water has to be. Because this is like a revived ancient, like dead city for thousands of years.
Is it revived? Like, is this like, because I understand that he rose like the city. I don't know if I got the implication that it's Echidnapolis.
Yes, it is Echidnapolis because it's. That's why he renamed, like Edmund renamed himself to Enerjack.
Yeah.
And Echidnapolis is now called Necronopolis. And in fact, we didn't talk about it last episode, but there was another map or did we?
No, we did not,
Yeah.
because it specifically said slave quarters on it, and I was going to bring it up and I forgot.
That's okay. That's fucked up. Let's talk about that, actually. Let's pivot to that, because that's massive.
Okay, 1 second.
No.
So I'm going to have a hard time seeing this, so you're going to have to
That's okay.
describe it.
Scroll just a little tiny bit up. Thank you. So, we're now looking at the previous issue. This is the second part of the miniseries, and this is the end of the issue, which is a map of Necronopolis, parentheses, formerly Incanopolis. So that's what it says.
Oh, it does? Okay, I missed that completely.
I can see how you missed it, because the text is very weird.
Yeah. Okay, so does that imply that they used to have slave quarters, or is that something that Enerjack decided he needed?
They're not going to touch it, so we don't know.
Well, so in...
It doesn't seem like the city of tomorrow that was Incanopolis would have slaves. So this had to be post blowing up Incanopolis and throwing out all technology. And actually, yeah, the implication there is that after Incanopolis blew up all their technology, they were like, we will rebuild with just the land and just manual labor, it seems, that they use slaves.
So the reason why I didn't, and I should have, now that I'm thinking about it, like it just didn't click in my head, because there is a spot on here that specifically says Great Hall of Learning. And so I know exactly where that is.
It's Enerjack Citadel, parentheses, formerly Hall of Learning.
Okay. There's a lot to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
So my first thing is, this doesn't look like a great city. So like it didn't like click in my head, because it seems pretty barren. It just has like a few buildings, and the images we've seen of the city, there are like hundreds and hundreds of skyscrapers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I read this. I didn't see the part at the top that said specifically what it was.
Right.
But I saw the Great Hall of Learning, but I think in my mind, I was just like, oh, that's probably like, him recognizing his roots or something, I don't know, and being like, this is my Hall of Learning,
mm-hmm.
where whatever, it doesn't matter.
The truth is, I the most likely thing is the writers don't have a sense of scale. I think that's what it really is.
That makes sense.
But yes, everything I am reading into the text, and it is not checking out with me at all either.
So the thing that really confuses me is, you just called this Enerjack Citadel.
That's what it says. Enerjack Citadel, parentheses, formerly Hall of Learning.
So where the fuck are we? Because we're in the Ebon Citadel? Because that's what was said in the introduction of this issue. And I literally wrote it down to call it out, because I was like, I don't know what this is.
Did we miss it? Did we miss it in this previous issue?
No, I don't think so, because I mean, maybe. I'm not going to sit down and reread the whole issue.
God, that's such a throw. It had to have been a throwaway line, because I don't.
Do you see? I can't read it from here. Do you see a different citadel on here?
No. And you're sure it says EBON?
So that's Citadel. Where we're gonna.
Right. Okay, so Ebon is lowercase, so maybe it's an adjective that we're not familiar with.
Oh, interesting.
And our phones are currently filming us, and the computer's all the way over there.
And I don't have a keyboard with me.
This is actually going to bother me. I'm going to get up and just do it.
Okay. Is it like? I was about to say it. Is it just ebony? And
that makes sense, actually. So okay.
So what's the?
Okay, hold on. Wait. I actually get this. All makes sense now. So yes, you made the correct connection. Ebon is tied to ebony, because I looked it up on Google, and ebon said dark brown or black. And
so what does ebony mean?
Ebony is it's black. Like that's because
it means the same thing. It's just more fun to say the ebony.
Yeah, I think so. I like it, like Ebony Magazine. I don't know. Or so the word that I just realized as I looked it up is that it's the Ebon Hawk from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which you haven't played yet.
No,
it definitely, in my opinion, one of the greatest RPGs.
Well, okay, no, I did play that game when it came out. And I got to the twist.
Okay.
Yes. And then, like, I don't know. I was like, that was cool. And then I literally just stopped playing. I don't know why. And so I don't know what happens next.
One of the greatest twists in probably video games, because it blew everyone's mind.
It was a good twist.
It was a very good twist. So, Ebon Citadel. So, it's just him as a fancy word for just, hey, it's a dark-ass citadel.
Hey, you know what? Thank you, either Mike or Ken, for teaching us that ebony also is ebon.
And maybe there is a slight difference, but it's like negligent.
Yeah.
Slaves.
Quarters?
Yeah, they have... So post blow-up, the echidnas used slaves. Or is it Enerjack?
I think it's Enerjack. I think the implication is Enerjack
is evil. That's it.
He was just like, I'm gonna need these, I think.
But man.
But like, he just raised the city. What does he need a slave for? What does he need slaves for?
Right.
I guess is my question. What is he building?
You can move matter with your mind.
He can make mountains.
He is 7 Chaos Emeralds in one or something. Or 6. I don't know.
So like, if anything, he's just doing it because he's bored.
Yeah.
Which also, like, I guess...
Could be the sadism. He could be a sadist.
Well, and like, I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves, but like, he did enslave the minds of the Chaotix crew.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to hang out somewhere.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how they got there.
It's time for Enerjack's monologue. All right, don't do any of the clicking things.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
All right, so my program puppets, bring the echidna and fire ant to me. After all, it's been a long time since I visited with family. But I'm quite sure, echidna, you haven't any concept just how long, but I'd wager the fire ant does. Did you know that at one time the echidnas were the most advanced species on Mobius, bruh? My brother, Edmund, and I were Echidnopolis' top scientists, and it was our dream to restore the floating island to its native Mobius, utilizing the energy of the Chaos Emeralds. I created the Chaos Siphon, which would gradually absorb the energy generated by the emeralds, thus lowering us until we were rejoined with the land. However, we were denied by the Council of Elders. Foolish old men, too weak-willed to see that our predicament required a solution that was bold and daring and gnarly, bruh. Unfortunately, my brother was among them, and so it fell to me to carry out the plan. What I didn't count on was a redirection of the energy that was channeled into me, changing me into something more. However well I planned, in my arrogance, I had not taken into account your ancestors mentoring the fray. Fire Ant. They foiled my plans, bringing down my own creation upon me. I suppose my brother Edmund took it upon himself to make atonement for my deeds, probably racked with guilt over my death, but I did not die. For untold generations, I lay in utter blackness until the time was right for my rebirth. And with my renewed life force, I emerged, free to conquer a world and beyond. Of all who could possibly stand in my way were you two. Making your removal from the scene was my highest priority. I admit amazement that you made it here through the desert. Knuckles realizes that Enerjack has no knowledge of the oasis that saved his and Archimedes' life. Enerjack continues. You can't even begin to comprehend the power I wield. Power so limitless that the energy it takes to hold this island aloft can create a new tower from the earth. Only this time, I don't foresee it collapsing anytime soon. Don't be so sure, buddy pal. History just might repeat itself, right, Archimedes? Archimedes then beams information from his mind to other fire ants, and they start marching towards the dark city. Enerjack starts attacking Knuckles and Archimedes, using this time to make a puff of smoke, clouding both Knuckles and Archimedes, allowing them to disappear. Enerjack sends a command over the speaker system for the hypnotized Chaotix, who are playing poker, to locate Knuckles and Archimedes. They rush off, obeying their master. We cut to outside. Thousands of fire ants are now marching into the dark city. We cut back inside to Knuckles and Archimedes, who are in the vents above Enerjack. They drop down on Enerjack for a surprise attack. The attack essentially does nothing, and Knuckles is knocked down to the ground. What did you hope to accomplish with that maneuver? That I laughed myself silly? How disappointing. I at least expected better of you, Echidna. The name is Knuckles, man. I don't know. Just like hearing it back to back, it's so stupid. The name is Knuckles.
It's Brooklyn.
It is Brooklyn.
My name is Neo.
And the name's Knuckles, Jack. Or should I say, Great Uncle Dimitri? The only echidna who ever put himself over his own kind. I've known all about you for a long time. I am what I am because of yous. Jack lunges forward, attacking while talking. Nah, brah. You are who you are because of my spineless brother. You are who you are because of all the scared sheep on the Grand Council. They didn't have my vision or my courage to ride this gnarly wave. Cut out...
Wait. Where does it... Because I feel like I do remember thinking it should be scared. And it said sacred.
Yeah, right there. No, you're right. Okay, so for the record, I usually correct in real time Nick's typos, but this was a correct one. Or, you know, he did it correctly. It says sacred. I think that's just a typo.
I think so too, but I specifically was like, that doesn't seem like, why would he call them sacred if he like doesn't like them?
But I could see where it's like, oh, you high holy sacred sheep.
Yeah,
I can see it that way too. So maybe that's the intention. It just didn't click with us.
Yep.
So there's a fault in the writing, at least in the communication. Okay.
And Dominic is right to correct my typos because there's enough of them.
There are a lot. So look, I would say like 70% of the time. I also do, if you've noticed, if you're watching this, there's a lot of cuts, and a lot of the time it's just straight up a mistake that Nick makes. 30% of the time, though, it's like I'm genuinely not reading it correctly.
Or Dominic interpreted my writing as a mistake when I'm like, no, that's the joke.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes
that actually does happen a bit. And sometimes I let it slide, sometimes I don't.
Yes, because, well, it's just that the level of writing we're dealing with here. Okay. We cut outside of the tower. The fire ants have attached rockets to the side of the tower. The rockets start blasting off. The ground beneath Knuckles crumbles, and Jack is flown away in the tower. As Knuckles falls from the tower, he switches to glide mode and safely lands on Angel Island, those steam-powered dreads. Knuckles and Archimedes now stand in front of the thousands of ants who saved their lives. Archimedes thanks them. This is random ant? What does a random ant sound like? Okay, just whatever.
More squeaky.
Yeah, exactly. But Archimedes, we only created an escape route so you could get away. We had nothing to do with launching the Citadel into the space.
This sounds like a less enthusiastic Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. Just then, the city vanishes. We cut to the Chaotix crew who just happened to be laying near Knuckles and Archimedes, waking up from their hypnotic trance. The Chaotix crew thanked Knuckles for saving their lives. For once, guys, I can't take credit. It was a combination of things that added up when I put them together. My dad's story, plus Archimedes, plus Jack's. I could have never defeated Jack on my own. However, I could depend on the unlikeliest of sources for help. I stood a better than even chance of beating them. Up until now, I was basically a loner, relying only on myself. I think Jack sensed that and figured I wouldn't go beyond it. I simply learned from history. Jack didn't. This is Archimedes. For all his omnipotence, even Jack didn't know about the oasis we found in the middle of nowhere. And we still have no clue where it came from, or disappeared to, mate. We cut to an older echidna watching these events unfold via their monitor. This echidna has video and sound and hears Vector scream out, "Let's party!" So what is old echidna? Who I know who it is.
Well, technically we already decided the voice last time.
Which was?
James Earl Jones.
Got it. As well you should, especially you, Knuckles. You've conducted yourself nobly and well. By distracting your great uncle through valiant combat, you allowed me to complete the rocket engines that carried him from this world. Without your efforts, all would have been lost. You understood the message of history. We are all together as one. That you accepted Archimedes as an ally gladdens me further. Though natural opposites, both echidnas and fire ants are intertwined for mutual benefit. Thus, the relationship continues. For me, I shall keep a watchful eye, as my forefathers have done for countless generations. For isn't it the father's duty to look after his son?
The twist here is he is Archimedes' father, not Knuckles.
That'd be crazy.
He gave birth to a fire ant.
So he gave birth.
Hey, do you understand their anatomy? Because I don't. Maybe they're seahorses.
This is actually a plot point in Invincible. Do you know that show?
I know of it. I've never watched it.
Yeah. A human fucks an ant.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just the evolution of the Sonic comics.
Yes, exactly. They actually take direct inspiration. We cut back to Archimedes and Knuckles on Angel Island, quoting Casablanca, saying, "This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." We cut to space and see the tower flying through space, with Enerjack laughing. The end?
So, to make it clear, because I did write in the script, because I write the script as I'm reading it to try to give it more of a... I don't read the script, read the issue, and then write the script. I write it as I read it to kind of give it a more like...
I'm reacting to this.
Reacting, yeah. Maybe not the best writing style, but I think for this exact purpose it works. They try tricking you into thinking the fire ants put the rockets on. So that's why I wrote the fire ants put on the rockets. But then we find out that it was actually Knuckles' dad, who is alive, who just can telepathically put on rockets. Maybe they'll explain that. Maybe they don't. We're obviously talking about the rocket thing now because that makes me so fucking angry. The fire ants are like, we just gave you an escape route. What does that mean?
It doesn't.
It literally makes no fucking sense to me.
Scroll back up to the ants, or you want me to do it?
Yeah. Because I tried to figure out what the ants did then, and I was like, these ants didn't do anything. All they did was march into the building. What does he mean? Unless if, like, they chewed the bottom of the tower so that...
That's what I was thinking. It's similar to how they did the first time.
Yeah, it would make sense to mirror the Angel Island with the tower from, like, a thematic point of view, I guess. I don't even know if it really works thematically.
Oh, okay. No, I see what happened here. Okay, so Knuckles and Archimedes are standing in front of Enerjack.
Yes.
And a hole is like buzzsawed around them where they're standing. Looney Tune style. So it's like a circle around where they're standing.
I interpret that as
the rocket thing.
The rocket lifted off and the bottom of the like tower got destroyed from the rocket lifting.
Right. But no. So what? There was a lot happening here visually that you had to kind of read into or like look in details, which I appreciate. I do appreciate that. It's just dumb. But so you actually made a joke. You made a joke last time, I think, where it was, or however many episodes ago, you were like, yeah, so the structure lifted and literally where they stood, where they sit is like there's a hole around them and they didn't lift. That is actually kind of what just happened.
Yep.
With the fire ants cut a hole around Knuckles and Archimedes, and when the rocket went up, conveniently at the same time, the ground that was cut dropped underneath them, and that's how they escaped.
So I'm since we're right here, and this is what we're talking about, and we're not normally we try to do overall opinions and then zero in, but I'm so fucking pissed at all of this. Why is Enerjack stuck on the tower? Why can't he jump through the hole that Knuckles? He's right. He watched it happen. Knuckles is like literally not even 5 feet in front of him. Why? You're gonna tell me This fucker can't fly? You're going to tell me that
he was flying, or at least really, really long jumping through the tunnels like the first issue.
This guy has how many Chaos Emeralds? 10 in him? And you're going to tell me this guy's not just going to jump down to the earth?
I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how he doesn't just Dr. Manhattan just vaporize everyone.
Yeah, like I don't get what's happening here. Whoever decided this should be the villain is insane, because there's only one way to defeat him, which is through the Chaos Siphon, which I mean, obviously he's going to come back, and if they're going to deal with him, that's how they have to kill him.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand how he lets himself go into outer space. I'm sorry. It's just like, none of that makes any fucking sense to me.
And also, why is he laughing?
Because he's going to go conquer another planet and then come back and attack Mobius after conquering this planet, and then they're going to have an intergalactic war. They're doing Planet Hulk. And so...
maybe. Actually, that's very possible.
I don't know if that's what they're doing. That's just my immediate guess.
One potential...
I'm not done.
Yeah, okay.
Because how does these rockets attach to the tower?
Yo, okay, so magnets?
Okay, how do magnets work?
But you see in this panel,
they're just like
clamping. They're clamping.
Okay, and so Knuckles' dad programmed these rockets,
these boosters,
or is he controlling them with his mind? I don't get what's happening.
No, I don't think he's controlling. I think it's the technology.
Okay,
because remember, Incanopoulos is a hyper advanced civilization, so maybe he dug up some of that old tech, which was actually very advanced, and did that. So I mean, look, he is watching all of this unfold from a pretty advanced looking control room.
This is another problem I fucking have. If Enerjack is as strong as they say he is, it feels pretty risky for Knuckles' dad to just hang back and watch this unfold. Right? That's insane in itself.
Is this more of that trial bullshit?
Yeah, but that should not be a trial.
Yeah.
That's the test.
No, that's not the test. That's what the test is preparing you for. Like, this is all the testing you're trying to do here doesn't make sense.
That is if he failed, which he almost, the only reason. Okay, this pisses me off. So sorry. I know you probably have things to say.
No, it's okay. I get this. I'm for it.
His Knuckles' dad little monologue fucking bullshit where he's just like, you've learned, son, and it's like
that's very good. That's a very good deep voice, Nick.
I've got surprises. But like he's just like, you distracted him well enough so that I can attach rockets onto his tower, and he's making it sound like Knuckles planned these things. That Knuckles was like, you know what I mean? Like, verbatim, the quote is something along the lines of like, thank you for distracting Enerjack long enough so I can like do this thing. And it made it sound like that was Knuckles' plan, when Knuckles was just losing a fight. He wasn't winning that fight.
No, okay, from his point of view, Knuckles' dad, he could have been like improvising. It's like, oh, okay, they're fighting. I don't know if my son's going to win or not, but they're fighting long enough where I can at least launch the rockets. Attach and launch the rockets. Or, yes, he was planning this the whole time. I do hate it when there's this long series of events and there's a character like, yes, I planned all of this.
10 billion calculations, and this is the one I knew that was going to succeed, something like that.
Yeah.
The other thing, Enerjack could just like take away Knuckles' oxygen or something, and that's why Knuckles and Archimedes like pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Why
there's your window.
Did he stop?
Yeah, there's your window.
Why did he stop taking out the oxygen?
Because Enerjack is not shown to be like a noble warrior, where it's like, aha, I am evil, but at least I have respect for. No, he doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants the power. Right?
I agree. Okay, I'm kind of taking control of the conversation. I'm going to step back. Is there anything you want to say? Because I do have a laundry list of things I need to get
actually,
through.
I'll let you take the lead on this.
Okay, so I'll do a fun one right now. I do think it's really funny that they ask themselves the question, if you're hypnotized, what do you do when you're not being like like they're clearly still hypnotized, the Chaotix crew, but they're just like hanging out playing poker.
Yeah, that's what I
like. I don't know, in my mind, I guess if you're not doing the task that was given to you, you're like standing still like a robot.
Yeah, that's how it should be, because that makes the most sense. But here they retain their personalities, it seems, and are just playing cards.
It's so weird.
Why did they have to draw it like that?
I don't know. I kind of love it, actually. I think that's like a really dumb, fun thing. Because just the idea that they're the same person, but they just hate Knuckles for some reason.
So at the end of this issue, there is yet another. So this whole thing has, every single issue here has had maps so far. Mm-hmm. And this map is the Citadel of Darkness, Enerjack Citadel of Darkness. And they map out the room, the recreation lounge, great for card playing.
Yeah, so Enerjack had that thought when he made this building. You know what's funnier? If he hypnotized them to play poker. He's like, I got this card room. Someone's got to use it.
All right, I'm gonna fight Knuckles 1-on-1. So y'all just play some cards, bro.
Yeah, just play a hand or two.
Wait, no, play spoons.
One thing I like, there's something I really like in this issue. I think it's failed miserably. But I like the attempt of trying to tell the same story over and over again from multiple points of views. It's just the points of views didn't change at all. Really? Like, they all say the same fucking thing. And so it's not interesting, but I like the idea, and I'm specifically talking about when Enerjack was talking about his interpretation of events with when he was trying to talk to the Citadel and whatnot, and be
talk
like,
to the High Council or
High
whatever.
Council, thank you, and be like, hey, we need to do this to like save the Angel Island and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Motivation. It's character motivation.
Yeah, it's just like, but we knew that. This, like, seeing it from his point of view didn't change anything. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a light bulb moment to be like, oh, you know what? He makes sense now. Or like, it didn't change my interpretation of events, which is why you would do something like this. So it's just a waste of our fucking time, because it's literally just repeating the same things we've known. And they did this last issue too. And it's like, I get what you're trying to do, but you're failing. And so you're just reiterating you're wasting 2 pages here saying the same thing that we have known.
You're literally redrawing the same panels.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
And these aren't newly drawn, because the way, like, these aren't superimposed. The way they do it, they have to be drawing it again.
100%. So that's my opinion of that. I think it's a cool idea, but unless it like changes our opinion on something, or like gives character motivation in a way that we didn't see before, there's literally no point to doing it.
Yep.
So,
like, there's no new information.
Exactly.
And I can see like, no, because we already understand Enerjack's point of view. We already understand it.
Exactly.
We don't need to reiterate it.
Yeah, this becomes a shock. You guys didn't have the most complicated motivation, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if we finished talking about this, but when Vector sprayed Knuckles with that fire hose.
You know what's really funny is I was just about to bring that up.
Okay, go ahead.
That was my last bullet point, which was, I just found I think you were going to say different things, but I think it would have reminded you to bring it back to that concept, which was, I just got really annoyed that they used fog to escape twice in a single issue. It's just fucking lazy.
So I do appreciate it when characters use powers multiple times in a short amount of time, but then I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if they anticipated it. It's like, oh, I got you the first time, not this time though.
Like, it's two different. So the first time, the fog was because I guess fog isn't the right word because it's steam. Because
whatever, sure,
it's the smoke. Fire. He's breathing fire, and Vector sprays him with water, and so that's super foggy. You can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, Archimedes uses like a smoke bomb. It isn't anything like that, so it's not using the same power. He just has a smoke bomb for some reason. Well, yeah, I'll accept smoke bomb. Do not get me wrong. I'm not sitting here being like, it's a fine device, I guess, to get him out of the situation. If anything, I'm more angry at the water hose one because it's fucking insane to just have a water hose on the wall right there. I don't know. I feel like you could have been more clever with trying to get Knuckles and Archimedes out of that situation, and the fact that they do it twice in the same issue just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah,
that's just lazy writing. I'm sorry.
The villains are not learning.
Yeah, so
no one's learning. No one's learning anything.
What were you going to say about the water?
It's just nasty ass water because it's
gross.
It's probably
over 1,000 years old, stuck in those pipes.
That, and also it technically wouldn't even be water at that point. It would just be sludge. But there's that, and also like even regular fire hose water or like
sprinkler water is different than fire hose water. I think.
Okay, I don't know
because I think they specifically put chemicals in the sprinklers. In the sprinklers,
it's antifreeze.
Is it?
That's what I've been told from certain facilities people who like work in who handle that stuff.
I probably know who that person was who told you.
Actually, yes. And in fact, what it was is that a sprinkler pipe had cracked, and I had to deal with that because it was getting all over our shit, all over our equipment.
You never told me about this.
No, I didn't. And
why'd it crack?
Old age, I think. Like no one hit it. It was so high up, no one could have hit it. And it's like, yeah, no, the smell is just antifreeze. That's all it is.
That makes sense. I wonder if it's a mixture of water and antifreeze or if it's all antifreeze.
I don't know because either way it has to. Dumbass, fire isn't cold. It doesn't freeze.
That's true.
No, I'm kidding.
Why do they need antifreeze?
No. But because they flush it out. They flush out the pipes.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. This all makes sense.
Yeah,
I've just never thought about it.
Yeah. Between like antifreeze and other chemicals and just time and sludge, just really nasty ass water. That's enough to knock you out all on its own. All right, next topic.
You have the mouse. So
sorry.
No, that's fine. What do you want to cover? Because I covered.
You take the lead.
Well, okay, let's that
was it?
I kind of did my big rants that I was really fucking annoyed about. So let's talk about the miniseries as a whole. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't finish what I was fucking talking about because this fucking pit. So okay. I guess this leads into the bigger question. So I guess I can step back a second. How do you might actually say what I'm going to say. How do you feel about the miniseries as a whole? Do you think it accomplished what it was trying to accomplish, which was, I guess, the lessons learned that Knuckles needed to learn to team up?
So there's the emotional, like, character growing moments, and then there are like lessons at the end. That's that arc, and then there's the practical, physical, like what the fuck just happened in real time situation. Right?
So how do you think those payoffs were?
Okay, so Knuckles attempted to explain it, or the writers attempted to explain it, that, oh, hey, I needed to learn to look into my past, my history, and also work with Archimedes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not well done, but I can kind of buy it. Like, appreciating your own past and history. That's a personal thing for me as well, because I am the son of Filipino immigrants. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, I get that. I actually do kind of connect with that. Was it done the best? Kind of, sort of. There was a lot of info dumps, so you combine that lesson with exposing, or like lore, with more lore dumping. It's like, okay, fine, sure, that's fine with me. Teaming up with Archimedes, that was a little forced. That was a very fast, and because it was just so like, here, like, Archimedes himself was not enough of a antagonist facing Knuckles for me to appreciate him turning into an ally. Mm-hmm. So there's that critique. But okay, sure, team up with Archimedes, fine, whatever. We just formed the Chaotix a couple months ago, like 3, 4, 5 months ago,
yeah.
Which is relatively recent, right? They have done jack shit together as a team after their formation.
Well, that's because now we can be a team. Knuckles needed to go through this. I disagree. Also, I'm being a dick.
I know
this is what the writers are thinking. But
no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't learn a goddamn thing.
well, and so
You didn't learn to bond with the Chaotix. That was the problem. Which, to be kind of fair, not really. Knuckles didn't even say that. How cool would it have been if we actually had a team up moment with the team?
at the very end.
Or just in general.
Yeah. So a question I'm going to ask is, you specifically said Knuckles was able to look into the past to learn how to face the trials of today, right?
Mm-hmm.
My question, and it might be, how can I word this? How do you think he applied the past for today's lessons? Because the past, well, what is the story of the past? The past is
In Kanopolis, it is the, Mount Fate.
correct.
It is Enerjack. It is Dimitri and Edmund. It is the High Council. It is the lessons of Incanopolis as this technological powerhouse, high on its own supply, very arrogant society. And the Fire Ants were the ones who were really the real physical labor, lower class learning, or not learning, physical force that made Incanopolis what it was with zero appreciation. It was that, right?
Well,
none of it really applied to the process or the final fight.
yeah,
It was all just lore dumping.
exactly.
That's
And
all
that
it was.
that was the point I was trying to make. Is I do not understand how learning these things from the past made Knuckles be able to fight in the present.
It did not equip him with anything at all to help fight Enerjack.
And I don't see the parallels of the past story to the modern one. And maybe they're there and I'm an idiot. Like that is
No, but like the present just reads as evil guy wants to take over the world. That's it.
yeah.
Whereas the previous issue was man versus nature. It was a society trying to fight a comet.
Well, I mean, the exact, so for this exact story that they're trying to tell, it seems like what they needed to do was, however, so it's Dimitri and Edmund, and they have a falling out, and I guess, however Edmund failed, Knuckles has to succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order for it to be a lesson learning from the past. I don't understand how Edmund failed. I guess he failed. I'm sorry. This is something I haven't really thought about this yet, so I'm kind of talking through it and seeing if I can like kind of make something work here.
Mm-hmm.
So Edmund failed in the sense that he believed science would be stronger than nature. And then I guess I just don't.
I'll be honest with you.
I need to sit with this.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even see a science versus nature thing really. Other than the initial, like the comet is hurtling towards whatever. Because if anything, science won. They literally moved a city out of the way of a comet.
Well, and so
I'm actually being serious when I say this. This is a class story. This is a class lesson because of the Fire Ants. The closest thing to a real development and lesson and like thing here is the Fire Ants.
But I don't. I've got two things here. One, how are there fire ants on the island?
Shut up.
That's a legitimate question.
No, it's not.
Dude, so all the fire ants went and lifted the island up. So did they split society? Are there fire ants down on Mobius and fire ants on the island and they've developed different societies now?
There's a north side and there's a south side of Chicago, Nick.
Okay. Okay. I just needed that answered, I guess.
There's an upside and a downside in fire. Like when they meet up again, they're like, hey, what's up?
Interesting.
There's a whole like airline that shuttles between the... No. Wait.
Are you starting to think like I am?
No.
He's getting it. He's starting to believe.
No.
What was your weight?
No, for a second I thought like, is the island still in the
Air? Yes.
yes, it is. Because it went to space, so I thought it was in the ground for some reason. Never mind.
No. Yeah. I legitimately forgot my other point now. With the fire ants. Because I was gonna say, couldn't there be more of an argument that the ants are nature?
Okay, you know what? That's a read. I can see it now. I'm starting to see it that way. Sure, yeah.
I don't agree with it, for the record. I'm just saying
it's not well done because
I think.
Okay, are they a parallel for like natives, like Native Americans or Native whatever, like indigenous populations? Perhaps. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to...
Well, because the ants look like they don't really have technology.
No, they have some civilization because they talk amongst each other. They can communicate. They have boots.
They can psychically talk to everyone.
Now, Archimedes can like operate technology.
And
they're sentient. They're sentient. They have advanced thought and they have a society. Yes. So, okay, it could be like an indigenous read. Okay,
maybe.
But either way, I'm just seeing it more at the real lesson here that I'm taking away.
Well, and so, sorry, I'm going to push back only because I got my read was that the echidnas didn't even know that the fire ants did what they did.
Correct. That is what it is.
And so I think it's hard to interpret that as a class thing when well, okay, I just thought of how you could, but the main population doesn't understand that these people came and lifted them up. Now, obviously, as I say that out loud, I understand that capitalism would...
or just like middle class arrogance.
Yeah, where I don't realize that buying my chocolate means that I endorse child slavery because
there's that, but it's also even just to the myth of like, oh, I'm the self-made man. I own this middle class home in a nice neighborhood. I did it all by myself.
Sure,
and no other society didn't help me. I wasn't, the road system never didn't help me. Transit, education, nothing helped me. It was all me, baby.
I'll say I'm not pushing back as hard now.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't think what the ants did makes sense.
Yeah, why did they do it? Why did they do all?
Well, okay, not only why did they do it?
Lifting the island the first time, 1,500 years ago, whatever. That I can see it like, oh, like we're gonna help these guys.
Well, what if they just hated echidnas a lot, and they're like, we just want to, they want to fucking leave. Let's help.
Yep.
Let's get them out of here.
Okay.
See, I like that.
Okay.
And that's why there's no fire ants up there.
Yeah, well, assuming there aren't just native fire ants on the island that went along with the island, right?
Well, I mean, Archimedes is Australian, so he's obviously on the island.
Like, yeah, it just could be a different, like, faction of, not faction, but regional ants.
Mm-hmm.
Like in real life, there's red ants, there's black ants, there's brown ants.
Yeah.
I'm assuming also the telepathy. I'm assuming that's more so how just like ants in real life can talk to each other without
psychically.
Yeah. Not, you know what I mean.
I know, I'm being a dick. Okay. So yeah, I think our overall opinion of these issues are poor.
Yeah.
I don't think they succeeded in trying to tell the story that they're trying to tell. I think it would have been a lot better if you're going down the hypnotic route to make the Chaotix crew do a heist. Honestly, anything other than what they did, because the only cool thing they did was play poker. Yeah, the whole everything with the Chaotix has been a waste of time. I don't think Knuckles truly. The only lesson I feel like Knuckles learned is nothing. He's just like telling us, like the writers are like, this is what he learned, but I'm like, show me how he learned that, right? What were you gonna say? I apologize.
No. It's like I cannot get over the fact that we just teamed up with the Chaotix just formed. earlier this year if we're looking at the comics in real time, like issue by issue, month by month as they're released. We just teamed up with the Chaotix, and it's like, here's the team, baby. We got it. We're about ready to go on some exciting adventures together. And yes, there's going to be some growing pains. This isn't even growing pains. This is just nothing happened. The Chaotix were separated from their team leader, which is Knuckles, right? And he had to rescue them.
Yeah.
And nothing was learned. The Chaotix were not developed as characters. The Chaotix didn't learn any lessons of their own because they were hypnotized or just eaten ribs, in a temple.
That was weird.
Just nothing at all. What a complete waste of an opportunity.
I mean, that's so far been the theme, I think, of Archie comics, and I think that will be my that'll be my thesis. Is what a waste of an opportunity.
Like if the next time we see the Chaotix crew together and they're like acting like they've been on all these adventures, and it's like, oh man, remember back in the day, or like, hey, we're so tight now because we've been through all this ordeal. No, you haven't. You haven't learned a goddamn thing. I don't know what there is to celebrate with this crew.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a waste, just a complete waste.
Something to touch on that I forgot to bring up is, do we think that, okay, let's take a step back. Do we like the Knuckles dad reveal?
Do I like it? I'm neutral on it. I'm actually so apathetic to it, I don't have an opinion.
I hate it, obviously.
Okay.
I shouldn't say obviously. I think it's a lot more interesting that Knuckles is like an orphan trying to... How can I word this? I think it's a more interesting story of Knuckles trying to learn about his past and culture by himself and kind of winging it and kind of deciding this is what it is. And like, I mean, obviously he had a father and his father taught him stuff, but like, how much do you actually take in when you're 5 or 6, right? And so now he's an adult and he's trying to remember these things that his dad was trying to like teach him. I think that's a cool, maybe not cool that you're an orphan, but it's an interesting idea, right? And having his dad just be alive takes away from that. On top of it, I hate, and maybe I'm wrong that this is the inspiration, but I hate the fact that they're trying to make him look like a Jedi.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't normally say it's a Jedi, but the fact that he is surrounded by a bunch of future tech
while wearing a robe,
I'm like, he's a Jedi.
Yeah, and also we know Ken Penders has a hard-on for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I do too, but it's just stop forcing it on this aesthetic.
I'm already upset at the fact that it's his dad, which we called, don't forget, back when they hinted at someone, because remember someone was watching Archimedes?
I know you did, at least. I don't know if I just put my hands up, but I know you did.
Well, you can edit it in if I'm wrong. Just be like, he didn't call that out.
Okay.
But I guess the old technology is probably incredibly advanced. Do you think it's advanced enough to create an oasis?
Could be, maybe, like material.
And then made it disappear? Like,
yeah, materialized.
Because that pisses me off. And it's a plot point. They drove it home.
We have seen time and time again hyper advanced scientific marvels and technology are introduced and then used way below their capabilities. That is an issue with so much media, don't get me wrong. But in this whole comic series altogether, it is a repeated issue of like, just fucking use this, man. You have it. What is going on?
So,
or give me a reason why it's limited in some way.
Can you go back to last issue?
We didn't talk about this. Knuckles just fucking eats Archimedes. I thought that was really funny and really,
yeah, it was good.
That was actually a really funny, like, that's a very Knuckles thing to do.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? Kudos. give credit where credit is due. What little credit we can give. That was funny. That was a cute character moment. I wish we could have done it with the Chaotix somehow. Maybe not like that.
Yeah, if Knuckles just ate Vector.
Sure.
In front of Espio.
I like how you say that instead of like Charmy. But either way, I mean, Charmy's too big anyway. But just a cute character moment. These are the moments we could have had with the Chaotix.
Sure.
Or just at least one of them. Like you said, like, okay, sure. Yeah, when the whole team is together, that is, you're dispersing so much attention that it's low. You don't have a lot of time to develop. Yeah, it could have been Knuckles and Vector. Because they were hanging out before in that one story.
Yeah,
right?
or even
Espio or Charmy.
You could still have Archimedes just have one of the Chaotix with them.
Yeah, I forgot to make this point. Why did we introduce this whole Archimedes character? And yeah, that's Knuckles. Hey, this is Knuckles' partner for this whole miniseries. Motherfucker, he has a team. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So yes, back to the Oasis.
So
we see Knuckles' dad. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see this now. Could this hallucination have been like the technology?
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Okay.
And then I was curious, does Archimedes acknowledge it? I don't think so.
Archimedes does not acknowledge it. He acknowledges the Oasis, of course, but he does not acknowledge Dad.
But so with this technology and stuff, I could see it. So it's like, oh yeah, you gotta have echidna vision,
or like, hey, the brainwave.
I'll accept. Echidna can see different wavelengths than Fire Ant. Like, unironically, I will accept that.
They are far enough. If it was like Sonic, okay, that's a stretch. But if it's an ant,
yeah,
there's enough difference there. Sure. Or like, hey, Dad is like, hey, I switched the brainwave frequencies.
Honestly, that's probably what it is. Like, yours is closer to the truth, I think.
All of this assuming that it isn't Knuckles genuinely having a hallucination.
I mean, I don't think it is, because Oasis is there.
I agree. That would be such terrible writing if he had a hallucination, a real one, followed by a real Oasis that was manipulated with time and space. Or like materialized, I should say. It'd be a really bad writing. That'd be a real, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, man, that's kind of not above this comic, I think.
This is writing. I've seen this before because I've done it myself. Right? Just in general, not even like fiction writing or anything, but just when you're writing, you need to communicate. You need to make sure the audience understands what you're trying to do. If you are an advanced writer, a really, really good writer, or just a writer who's like balls to the wall, I don't care, get on my level, then okay, you can do your own thing. But for a comic, I think you need to have a level of, do these children understand what I'm trying to say?
And I think that's a good point, because as an adult, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Like, challenge the audience. Sure, that's good. I appreciate that. This isn't challenging. This is just what the fuck, bro.
I'm with you. And that's the issue. Only 377 left to go. I'm Nick. I stream at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus. Did I do that right?
Is it 376?
You know what? We're ahead.
We say this every fucking time.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for real.
Okay.
I'm gonna go count it out.
Are we gonna count Sonic X? We're gonna do Sonic X.
Well, this is the whole reason that this became an issue, was because I was like, we're doing Sonic X, and you're like, no, we're not. So
you want to do Sonic X?
You know I do.
All right, let's do it. Count it up, baby.
My personal Blues official announcements. We're also doing Sonic Adventure Let's Play. Yeah. Which I gotta say, it really does throw me off when he doesn't have a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, it's same with me too.
It actually like aggravates me now. You've made it so in my head Knuckles is Brooklyn.
Because it's better.
It's better.
Just better. Ken Penders, you fucking cooked with that idea.
Dude, he did crush with that. You read.
Nick streams at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus, and his personal blue sky is at Mojosaurus. I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago at Blue Collar Jazz, and my personal blue sky is at Dom Guan, and stick with it, at least Instagram, just because it is shit's popping off in DC, which means shit may pop off elsewhere in the country, and Chicago is preparing for it. At least the grassroots organizations are bracing for impact in the next few weeks and months. You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast. TikTok is Gotta Talk Faster. We also have a video version of the podcast where you can follow along with panels and our handsome faces. Like, comment, and subscribe. You can write into the show at sonicgrams@gottatalkfast.com, ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion on this week's issue. And remember, when life keeps going fast, you gotta talk fast and just get through it.
I love you.
Gotta talk, gotta talk.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast.